You think you're doing everything right, changing the oil, replacing the filter, keeping up with maintenance. But what if I told you that even a perfect oil change could still be killing your engine? Most people are making hidden mistakes that cause long-term damage. The worst part? You won't notice it until it's too late. Don't let a simple mistake cost you thousands. Watch this video now and find out what you're doing wrong. One of the biggest mistakes is using the wrong type of oil. European cars often need specific synthetic oils that meet strict manufacturer standards. These high-performance engines run differently than standard vehicles, and using the wrong oil can cause poor lubrication, overheating, and even long-term engine wear. If the oil is too thick, it may not flow well in cold weather. If it's too thin, it won't protect the engine properly in extreme heat. Many luxury brands like BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, and Volkswagen also have warranty rules that require specific oil types. Using anything else can void the warranty, leaving you with expensive repair bills. The best way to avoid this mistake is to check your owner's manual. It will tell you exactly which oil to use, whether it's SAE 5W30, SAE 10W30, or another specification. But even if you get the oil type right, there's another issue that people often overlook: changing the oil, but not the oil filter. The filter's job is to catch dirt, metal shavings, and sludge before they circulate through the engine. Over time, it gets clogged, and if it's not replaced, dirty oil will keep flowing through the engine, causing extra friction and wear. European cars are especially sensitive to this because their engines are built with tighter tolerances. Using a low-quality or non-OEM filter can also cause problems, as some filters don't properly fit or fail to provide enough filtration. A simple rule to follow is to replace the oil filter every time you change the oil. This keeps the engine running smoothly and extends its lifespan. Even with the right oil and a fresh filter, there's still one more mistake that can cause serious damage: overfilling or underfilling the oil. Both can be disastrous. Adding too much oil increases internal pressure in the engine. This can damage seals, create leaks, and even cause oil to foam, making it less effective at lubricating moving parts. On the other hand, too little oil means there isn't enough lubrication, which leads to overheating and excessive wear on engine components. The easiest way to avoid this mistake is to check the oil level after every change. Older cars have dipsticks, while newer models use electronic sensors. Either way, following the manufacturer's recommendations for the correct oil quantity is essential. Another mistake people make is ignoring oil change intervals. Some drivers go too long without an oil change, thinking it's not a big deal, but oil breaks down over time, losing its ability to lubricate and cool the engine. This can lead to sludge buildup, clogged passages, and increased wear on important engine parts. In high-performance cars, especially European models like BMW, Audi, and Mercedes-Benz, these problems get even worse. Their engines run hotter and have tighter tolerances, so neglected oil changes can cause serious damage. Some manufacturers even require regular oil changes to keep warranties valid. Following the recommended schedule, usually every 12,000 to 16,000 kilometers or 6 to 12 months, can help avoid expensive repairs. Even when people change their oil on time, they sometimes forget to tighten the drain plug or oil cap properly. A loose plug can cause oil leaks, leading to low oil levels and poor lubrication. In the worst case, it can cause the engine to overheat or seize completely. On the other hand, over-tightening can be just as bad. It can strip the threads or damage the oil pan, which is costly to fix. Many European cars have specific torque settings for tightening plugs and caps, so using a torque wrench helps avoid both over-tightening and under-tightening. Some vehicles also require a new crush washer with every oil change to ensure a proper seal. Skipping this step increases the risk of leaks, which can lead to major engine problems down the line. Another common mistake happens when replacing the oil filter. Sometimes the old rubber gasket from the previous filter stays stuck on the engine block. If a new filter is installed without noticing, it creates a double gasket. This weak seal can start leaking under pressure, leading to sudden oil loss. High-performance engines are especially sensitive to this since they operate at higher pressures. A sudden drop in oil can cause immediate engine failure. To avoid this, always check the old filter after removal to make sure the gasket isn't still attached. Applying a thin layer of fresh oil to the new gasket before installation helps create a proper seal without over-tightening. Using high-quality or OEM filters designed for specific European engines also reduces the risk of gasket issues. Moreover, people often skip the final checks. On the surface, everything might seem fine, but oil could be slowly leaking from an improperly tightened drain plug or a loose filter. If this goes unnoticed, the car might lose oil over time, putting the engine at risk. That's why after every oil change, the engine should be started and left running for a few minutes. This allows the oil to circulate properly and any leaks will become visible. A quick look under the car can prevent a problem that might not show up until it's too late. Once the engine is turned off, checking the oil level with the dipstick is just as important. If there's too much oil, the engine has to work harder. If there's too little, parts inside can overheat and wear out faster. It takes less than 5 minutes to check, but skipping it could mean costly repairs down the road. But even when the oil change is done right, another mistake can cause damage. Using low-quality oil or a cheap filter might seem like a way to save money, but it can lead to serious issues over time. Some filters don't remove contaminants effectively, allowing dirt and metal particles to circulate through the engine. This can cause extra wear on internal parts and reduce performance. In high-performance cars like many European models, the wrong oil or filter can do even more harm. These engines require specific types of oil that meet strict manufacturer standards. Using a low-quality product might not provide enough lubrication, leading to increased friction, sludge buildup, and even premature engine failure. European cars often require oils that meet ACEA standards or manufacturer-specific approvals, like Mercedes-Benz MB 229.5 or VW 504-507. The right oil isn't just about viscosity, like choosing between 5W30 or 0W40. It's about the additives and quality that keep the engine running smoothly. Brands like Mobil 1 offer synthetic oils designed specifically for European engines, ensuring proper protection and efficiency. The same goes for oil filters. Cheap filters can collapse under pressure or fail to trap harmful particles, putting the engine at risk. Trusted brands like Bosch, Man Filter, or Melee are designed to meet OEM standards and provide better filtration. These mistakes don't always cause immediate problems. A car might seem fine after an oil change, even with a minor leak or a low-quality filter, but over time the damage adds up. Oil leaks lead to low levels, which can result in overheating or engine wear. Poor quality oil fails to protect the engine, leading to sludge buildup and increased friction. Dirty filters allow harmful debris to circulate, slowly causing internal damage. It's a slow process, but one day the engine could suddenly fail, leaving the owner with a massive repair bill. Even after getting everything right during the oil change, there's another easy mistake to make: checking oil levels on uneven ground. It seems harmless, but parking on a slope can give a false reading. If the car is tilted, oil pools to one side, making it seem like there's either too much or too little. Overfilling can cause oil to foam and put extra pressure on the engine, while underfilling leads to poor lubrication and faster wear. The best way to avoid these problems is to take your time and follow the car's manual. Always park on level ground before checking oil, and if your car has an electronic oil monitor, use it for a more accurate reading. And if anything feels uncertain, it's always better to ask a professional than risk damaging your engine. Oil changes seem simple, but small mistakes can lead to expensive repairs that aren't worth the risk. Speaking of European cars, have you ever wondered why so many people in Europe prefer manual transmissions over automatics? It's not just about tradition. There's actually a good reason behind it. Watch this next video to find out why manuals are still king in Europe.